Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm going to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Perfect. I am drinking some water because hydration is important. And I do have my most important thing is my cup mug. Meow. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. Mm.
And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and this week we are really turning up the heat. Speaking of turning up the heat, I don't know what we impacted in the US, but I am also overheating at the moment, so hopefully this will be entertaining. And to try and combat that, I just have some water.
Word. But yes, we are here. We are talking about The Snake, episode 3. And yeah, it was an episode. It definitely was an episode that
It was
happened.
an episode. I I'm happy that one narrative didn't play to fruition of just a complete outcast, but God,
Right.
was it predictable.
So very predictable. So very predictable to the point where we're like, okay, I I don't understand how nobody is like, how did we not see this happen? How did we not see, you know? I
How did we not figure this out earlier? Like, how did you miss the obvious thing that was going to happen? How did you
right.
make this very blunt strategic blunder like this? Like, are you thinking?
Are we
And I want the person to know that I'm asking that question. I still really like you, but are you thinking?
I absolutely because see, be honest, look, we're gonna say Pastor Jacobs. We love you. We really appreciate you, and I know you watch this show and you watch us, and we love. See, look at the hearts I'm giving you. Love, love, love you. But we saw this happen a mile away when you just started telling me. I was just like, no, no.
I watched it happen and was like,
Oh,
so that car is going to be on the train tracks, fully parked. Everyone's partying inside it when the train rams directly through it. Like
absolutely,
there's no question in my mind. Uh,
absolutely. Oh,
uh
ugh. We're gonna dive into it. We should have. We kind of jumped into it already, but w- we're gonna get back on track. Please subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. We're on a mission here at the Cup TV to have 8,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We are steadily on our goal trying to make that happen, and we really would appreciate if you would subscribe as well to help us get to that goal because a lot of fun things happen once we get to 1,000 subscribers. So help us out, please, and thank you. Also, all of our other channels have joined in on this mission. So go to our description below, click on the link tree, and click on all the links to all of our channels. And you can click that, subscribe to all of those channels as well. We'd appreciate the support. Also, our audio podcast listeners, we appreciate you. Please, if you need to check us out on the go, follow us on all where you can find all of your podcasting needs. But our link is in the description below, so you can click and find out if you need to check us out on the go. Patreon link is down there. All of our socials are down there at the Cup Pot. So go check all of that out. Now, Jack, let's get into it because we find out this week, and I know I don't be honest, I don't really know if anything of interest happened before we get to the challenge because I feel like it was just a lot of
it
talking and trying to
it was a lot of setup. And I will
right.
say I do think some of it is important.
Okay.
We have McLean discussing that for now 2 of 2 weeks,
Yeah.
She has been the last person who ends up getting saved by the snake, and she's tired of it and she wants to make deeper connections.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have Jacob going, I fucked up last week. I really want to try and get some connections in here. Let me try and figure out like what kind of trust I can make with people. And he has a great talk with Alyssa and Frank where we find out the cop is more of a piece of shit than we expected by actively demeaning an OnlyFans girl for doing her job. Just, because that's what I would expect. But we see Jacob build some more inroads and get some more ideas of like why he might have not why the move to call Jack on spitting in his bucket may have been a catalyst when there was already a bunch of ammunition lined up. So
Mm-hmm.
just those two small things, probably not relevant to anything, like not super important, but those are the two main things.
I mean, sure, in hindsight, maybe those more important things to talk about. But we do get to the challenge, which is called the Snake Challenge is a partner puzzle. And the contestants are divided into two teams of two. Each team member goes to a connected coffin with their teammate with their heads poking out at the end. And each box contains thousands of cockroaches. And the team members have different parts of the puzzle and have to solve it together by communicating to each other. And if any team member quits at any time, the team is eliminated. And the team to solve it the quickest becomes the two-headed snake. And so when I found out that they were having a two-headed snake, I'm like, oh, so are we doing a double elimination this week? Because, or do they have to come up with one person to save or to get rid of collectively?
I will be honest, I did
Mhm,
not think it was a double at first. I thought it was just, oh, we're just gonna play this out like normal. It's just that
mhm.
for this challenge, they couldn't really decide a way for one person to win, so two people win. Just nice and easy, and it makes the saving ceremony a little shorter. Why not?
Yeah, I kind of thought I was like, I wonder because I was like, is it a double? I wanted because if it's a snake, would you give both of them the same power, or do they have to come up with an agreement? Which I would find more difficult to come up with the same person when both of these people could possibly be in different alliances or have different connections. And so I thought it would be more difficult to do that. So when they said what was going to happen, I was like, that makes sense to me because I don't know if I would sit there and agree with somebody or just because eventually one of y'all is going to have to let go of the control and let the other person have their way. And it's just like I wouldn't be willing to do that in a game like this.
I did think the actual way this would play out would have been different. I
Hmm.
get that it's a two headed snake, so my initial thought was wrong. I thought there'd be two different chains happening, and we would get to the same
Ooh.
scenario where we have a lot of people at the bottom. It's just that we have two different chains going down until there are four people unsafe.
Oh, I like that idea a lot better. I think that would have been so much better if they would have did that.
It would have been a
Oh,
lot more interesting, but I
mhm.
understand why they did it the way they did.
Yeah. But the teams end up being McLean and Jacob, Brett and Christine, Devontae and Jack, how convenient. Jordan and Catherine, how convenient. Brian and Frank, Amanda and Cody, and Derek and Alyssa. Those were the teams. And honestly, people were freaking out. Those them soon as the cockroaches fell on their heads, it was like, like it was some. I
I
have
hmm,
I've never seen people freak out like that before. Some people,
I get it, especially since there are so many different holes they can try and go
yeah,
into.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I I will note here that like multiple people were like ready to go, and then it's just, oh, you got paired with the wrong person. You cannot win
Hmm.
this challenge anymore.
Hmm.
Which sucks. I think it would
Yeah,
have been interesting to let people pair up and not give it to random draws.
right,
But I do think it's more interesting to have it be random draws because we end up getting a scenario like we do.
right. I was laughing the most at like Cody in this challenge. I wouldn't expect Cody to be the one to freak out so much, and Amanda is the one that's like, Cody, we can do this. Come on, I'm not worried about it. Let's just do it. I'm like, oh my God, Cody.
That took me by complete surprise as well. Of like, oh, oh, Cody's the one with a problem, and like enough of a problem to straight up break the
Break it.
plexiglass and eliminate himself. Like,
Broke it.
oh my god.
This man was freaking the freak out. Like Amanda was so like befuddled at the idea that this grown big old boy with who rides bulls and on out in the cow, he's a cowboy. He outside all the time. He has got to come in contact with bugs and creatures all the time. And you scared of some cockroaches on you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. I would have been like, please, Cody, please get out of my face. Like, oh my, yeah, I was blown away by that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where your head is at with this specific challenge. This, I don't feel like would be a problem for me.
Okay.
Obviously, stress testing it would be potentially a different issue, but on the surface, this doesn't seem horrible.
This would freak me out.
Okay,
I would be the one like like I don't like bugs in general. So you put 1,000 in it. Oh my, 'cause I freak out if I see a cockroach. I'm like, oh, oh, oh. Like I don't like
that's
cockroaches.
fair.
1,000 of them on my head, possibly going in my mouth. Oh,
Yeah, little much.
because
I
I
yeah.
did see them have earplugs in, so it couldn't go in their ears because it was baby ones too. It wasn't just big old cockroaches; it was small ones, and then the small ones get into your ear and like hatch eggs in. Oh, mm. I would have had to have a swim cap on because I don't want it to get in my hair and all. Mm-mm. Yeah,
Mm,
they
I
would have
can
had to
see
make
that.
all kinds. They would have had to make all kind of arrangements because if you get in my hair and I
It's
can't
over.
find you, and it's ugh, I would have been, I would have been like paranoid for the rest of that day. I would have think it's bugs on me all day. I was like, ugh, ugh. Even after I took a shower, I would have been like, ugh, I feel like it's one crawling
It
on
would
me.
never be enough. It wouldn't be like I would have to think, okay, so how much cockroach poop is on my face and on my
Right.
body? Are any of them in my ear? Am I going to wake up to a weird skittering noise and be like, "Get the tweezers"?
I think they're in
Like
my ear.
yeah, no, I'm even if none of that happened, I will be paranoid about it for at least the next week. But
Hmm.
hey, if I win, I don't care.
Sure. I get that. I like people who can do mind over matter and, it's not where I'm just focused on my task at hand. I appreciate that. I am not that person when it comes to bugs. Mm-mm. My mind wins all the time. Mine will win every time. It'd be like, oop. I see cockroaches. I feel cockroaches. I got to get out of here. So, mm, 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 mm. But the challenge, okay, Jack, I want to ask you about this puzzle though. You are our resident game first expert here. This puzzle, just looking like it's a communicating puzzle, and they had to tell each other what places it. Like, I was a little confused. I'll be honest. I was a little confused about how this puzzle worked. So, if you can explain that to me.
My guess is that based on what we saw, there were essentially 16 unique tiles. Some of them were similar. They had maybe a fly, a wasp, a worm. I can't remember if it's a spider. No one mentions a spider, but worm, spider, fly, cockroach. I think those are maybe the ones. But essentially, they're all in different configurations. You need to not only get the right tile into the right place, but also have it in the correct orientation. Which I feel like looking at the tiles themselves, they were unique enough to where that wouldn't be an issue. But this was pure communication because they were intentionally trying to trip up people with how things were connected. So, I mean, overall, it's not a bad way to do it.
Right. I was like, okay, I was lost on how it was supposed to be and um what they were actually supposed to be communicating or how, but your explanation works for me. I get it now. I think I needed to have just yeah.
Just another round of explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't get it hearing it, but now I hear it. I'm like, okay, okay, makes sense, makes sense. But we do have a winner of this challenge, and it was close. I will say it was close. I think two teams were one tile away from winning.
Yeah.
Um, Jack and Devontae were one tile away from winning, as well as McLean and Jacob. They were both at the same tile at the same time, but it came down to the last piece, and our winners were McLean and Jacob. I wonder what what those conversations beforehand. Why did I guess now it makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like I will say narratively, the two
Hmm.
people who have been at the very bottom of this game winning power,
Love it.
very entertaining because now it's like and then the casual bomb drop of, oh, we have two people in power, which means two people go home. That is very fun to be like, well, your obvious two bottom people are no longer possible. Figure it
Right.
out.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love that. I love that. I was very happy to see Jacob and McLean win. I was like, good on them. McLean, especially because she had been in the bottom two for the last 2 weeks. And I don't think she deserved to be there. And especially last week, I was like, she should have been much higher than where she was. So I was like, I was happy that she was at the top. And now she has the decisions to make. And I was like, I wonder what she's gonna do with it. And I was happy for Jacob because after last week's situation and that mix up, to see him now in the top, and those people have to now come to him and say, what are we gonna do? I kind of
Yeah.
like seeing that. But I
I,
will say, oh, go ahead.
I will say as well, it is at least interesting because both of them were essentially used as game pieces
Mm-hmm.
in specifically Derek's move
Mm,
of Derek intentionally saving Jacob and throwing McLean to the bottom in
mm-hmm.
order that McLean would be automatically safe no matter what. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost the two results of the same move now
Squish.
being tapped up to the top,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow Derek is still in a really good spot. Like it's really weird. But
I
like Derek is still good with both of them.
right. I like Derek in this. I like Derek in this episode. I like Derek in general. I think
Hmm.
he's a good he. he thinks about things and he's a good player in this game. Um, is he giving as exciting as some of the other people? Maybe not,
No.
but I like how he thinks. He's very serious. He's taking this game very seriously, and you can tell that he moves with intention. So I like him in this game. And I don't know. It's very interesting how quickly the tables can turn in a game like this. To see, like you said, two people who were pieces in a game move now turn around and being at the top of the pack. But everybody who they kind of want to work with are still good, even if they're not as great. I don't. It's just it's weird, but I kind of like
It's
it.
a little strange, yeah.
But I like it. I like it. But we do see them go back to the house, and we see a conversation between McLean and Jacob, and they're talking about who they wanted to save. What do they think is the best way moving forward? Who can we get to work with us? And both of us get the results that we want from this. And Derek, not Derek, Jacob has come up with this pack because both of them, Jacob wants to save Derek. He feels like Derek is somebody who he wants to save, but McLean does not want to save Derek. She want and her people are on the Jack Devontae side, and Derek and Jacob's people is on the Derek Amanda side, and they're just two different sides. So they're trying to figure out how they could make this work, how they could save the people that they want to save, who do they want to eliminate. And Jacob wants to get rid of Brett, but Amanda wants to get rid of Derek. And so it's like,
Huh.
oh, huh.
And I mean, we don't get full confirmation of how this is going to work at the end, but
Hmm.
essentially instead of deciding together who they're going to eliminate, both of them are going to get to save someone, meaning that if one person wants someone to be safe out of the bottom, there's nothing the other person can physically do.
Hmm.
So that's why I personally think that they probably weren't told about how this exact ceremony was going to go. Otherwise,
Hmm.
I think the strategizing for this changes entirely.
Absolutely. I definitely think it would have. I don't know. Like, I agree with you. I think they found out about how the ceremony works when they got there because they looked a little surprised and it kind of felt like, or maybe they were told right before they got to the ceremony.
Probably.
But it just, because, like I said, the strategy would have changed significantly if they would have known how this ceremony was actually going to work. And I mean, I definitely would have changed some things if I was one
Yeah.
of them. But
Mm,
we do see a lot of conversations. This was the most conversations and strategies that we've seen since the show started. I want to say, in my
yeah.
opinion, I feel like we got a lot of conversations about how the change should work and who should pick who, and a lot of confusion. And then Jacob pulled because, of course, McLean wants to save Jack, even though if I was McLean, I would be getting my lick back, and he would have been in the bottom, and I would have saved him last
I mean,
because I would look.
granted, they
Uh,
don't want to be so public, but on the other hand, Jack did directly save McLean from danger, so I get it.
I would have saved him directly from danger too, but last. Like he see how it feels, my
Fair,
guy.
fair,
I'm
fair.
sitting here, I'm sitting here liking you, telling you how much I like you, and you like, oh yeah, we like each other. This is so great. And then you saved me last. Oh,
Fair.
for girl,
Yeah.
look, for girl code alone, baby, you have to. I'm not gonna show. I'm gonna show you how unbothered and unpressed I am, and I will match your energy. I'm saving you last. I'm gonna save you, but it's gonna be last. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm petty that way.
Yeah.
I'm petty that way. Hmm.
I
But
can I can understand that.
I'm that petty. I'm that girl. I know. But So they're talking, and here's where I just got completely confused by this whole strategy situation, because we all know who Pastor Jacob is trying to get rid of. He wants Brett gone, and he has a conversation with Jack, and I was like, okay, all right, cool,
Mislead him a little bit, sure,
right,
whatever.
sure. No misleading happened. He literally laid out the exact plans of what he wanted to do to the guy who is one of the besties in the house with Brett. He's like, one of y'all gotta go. So and prefer it to be Brett. And I'm like,
Why
I'm telling
in a
you,
game,
well,
just to be clear, that
right,
you have one decision at the
one,
start and
yeah,
then one decision at the end, and
yeah.
you're actively going to tell someone, do not save this person who is your best friend and who literally throughout the previous chains you have always saved each other. Don't do that.
I,
No.
no, no. I, I was like, no, Pastor, I get it. We all want to trust and believe that everybody's going to do the right thing. But no, we
No.
know this. We know this. They're not. And
Oh.
trustworthy, trustworthy in a game called The Snake. No,
No.
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 I
Oh
don't
my
trust
god.
nobody. I would never give my plans away to the people who I'm actively trying to get
Ugh.
out. Never give them anything.
Never.
You always mislead.
Mm.
You make them believe that you're going to do one thing. And like, I would have totally been like, yeah, this is the plan. Amanda is going to get Jack, and then Jack is going to get, and then I would tell Amanda, pick Derek. We going to make sure we get ours. I don't care who mad. You can be mad, but my team is safe.
Ugh.
My team is safe.
It's just Jesus Christ. What
Because,
you have such a strategic move and then you blunder it.
yep,
Like it's not a blunder actually. No, it's a full cannon blast to the move. Like you're not getting anywhere with it. Jesus Christ.
I would have been like, Amanda pick Derek, Derek pick Cody, Cody pick Christine, Christine pick Frank, and then let it go from there. Whoever
Mm.
gets it stays that way, but pick Frank, and then Frank probably picks Alyssa. And Alyssa probably picks, I don't know who Alyssa would pick after that, and I wouldn't care. But those boys, all three of them would have been down there. I would have been like, I'm sorry, McLean. I know you trust me, and but this is a game.
This is a game.
This is a game. You can be mad, but be mad when possibly one or two of your boys is gone.
Yeah. Uh,
And I was like, no, no, no. As soon as he told Jack, I was like, this is not gonna go.
yeah,
I knew
no, this is gonna
exactly where it was
implode.
going. I was like,
It's
I know
like
exactly where it's going.
every single person on the cast knows what's about to happen. Everyone is aware, somehow except for Jacob.
I was so
Which,
confused.
uh,
And I'm trying to get Pastor Jacob on this podcast to talk to us. And if we make that happen, for sure, we will be talking about this. Pastor Jacob,
we
if you're watching, we do love you, but
we
this
do
move,
love you. We will be giving you a strategic 101 course.
if you ever want to go on another game show where lying is in order, you go have, I know, Pastor, I get it. I am there with you. My core values and my Christian beliefs won't let me do certain things sometimes. But if I'm going to sign up for a show, the great thing about the Lord is that we can ask for forgiveness. Our Father will give us some forgiveness, and I will ask for forgiveness for the lies that I'm about to tell on the show. I'm sorry. I am so
and
sorry. Oh,
and even if you have such a problem with lying in this sense, you can
just don't,
do a half lie or just shut up.
just don't say
Genuinely,
anything.
that's the answer.
Right. I just wouldn't tell, like, I don't. tell the people who I'm trying to get out my plans. No,
You
you will
don't,
never know.
yeah, you just don't need to tell them ever.
Or I will just tell them some plans that we talked about. "Well, yeah, these are the plans. This is what I'm thinking. I'm all in on that. I'm all in on that. I'm all in on that." Then I would go to Jack and like, okay, Jack, here was the real plan. Jack, me and Jack is in tight. Me and Cody over here are not. So I'm gonna tell Cody what I think is the plan. This might be that. Yeah, you pick this person, and then Jack will pick. You pick Jack, and Jack will pick this person. Sure. I'm gonna go. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Jack's in. Jack's in. He's in it. But I'm gonna go to Jack. Okay, Jack. They go pick you, and when they pick you, you pick our
Don't
boy.
pick that person.
Don't pick the person that they
Yes.
sent. We're gonna keep on.
Done.
We're gonna keep
Easy.
our plan together, so all of our people are safe. And if they lose one or two along the way,
Uh-oh.
sucks to
Whoops.
sucks.
Just how it goes. Just how it goes.
It's the game. It's the game. Oh, I love it. I love this game, and I hate it all at the same time because it's bringing back a lot of feelings and for me because I have since retired from playing a lot of games on the online since I've been playing. But now talking about this show, feeling all the feelings, I'm like, dang, do I want to play a game again? Is there do I have the itch to play a game again?
Uh,
I don't
do,
know.
hmm.
I don't know.
It's like, weird. Lana gets a weird invite in like 20 minutes about something. It's gonna be real funny.
So, somebody gonna be like, "Hey, you want to play a game? I heard you want to play." I don't have time. Everybody, I would love to play a game. I don't have
You don't
time to
have
play.
time until suddenly you do.
Well, anyway, check. Don't tell my secrets. Don't tell. But so we do get, like I said, a lot of conversations, and then so Jack gets his plan all out and knows that Britt is the target, and Devontae is Jack is supposed to pick Devontae after he, and I was like, hold on, where did this? No, this change is broke right there. The change is broke because if you pick Amanda, because that's a good, you pick them, they go pick Amanda, then Amanda's supposed to pick Jack. If I'm Jacob, I'm like, now we need some trust from you that you will pick somebody from my team. So, because we're picking people from McLean, you can't just go in and pick somebody else on your team. No. How about you
No.
pick Derek, and then Derek picks Devontae? That's so you don't. And if he say I don't trust that, well, I don't trust you. Not Devontae. Not go pick who I want him to pick.
Literally, like, you have the puzzle pieces in front of you of the last two times where that trio of three, if possible, went in order. Do you
Every
think
single
it's
time.
not going to happen a third time? They've been
Because
talking
you
about
made a
it
new
like it's going to happen a third time.
only because you feel like you made a new path that is not going to happen this time.
Did we see a pact from round two overtake a pact from round one last time? No, we didn't. And that's how McLean ended up on the bottom.
Just I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I would have been like, there's no way. If I'm going to pick one person from my team and then that person picks somebody from your team, then that next person has to pick someone from my team. You see how this works? It's balance. It's called balance.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way the person from my team will pick somebody from your team. So we all have but no, you want to
No.
say I get to pick Devontae? Absolutely not. So freaking not.
Uh,
That is where this whole chain would have fell apart in an instant when he said
an
he has to pick
instant.
Devontae. Absolutely the freak not. You do not. You
Uh,
pick Derek. You pick Derek. Heck, you can pick Christine. I don't care who you pick. You pick Cody, but you're not picking Devontae. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But they go along with it. Pastor Jacob was like, "Yeah, that works. It works for me." And I was like, "No, no, no." But
uh,
We see a couple of people who are freaking out. They don't know what this happen is going to happen. Christine is trying to freak out a little bit. She's like, I don't know if I made the connections. The only person she really made connections with was Cody. Um, and she doesn't know if it's strong enough. We see Frank is stressing out a little bit, but I think this is part of Frank's strategy. So
General MO. Yeah.
yeah, his general MO and strategy to look like he doesn't know, and but Frank is clearly playing the middle, and he's doing it very well. I might add,
Mm-hmm.
very well insulated, and some other people are as well. But should we just go on to the saving ceremony, Jack?
I think we do, because, I mean, in terms of everything else, it is really just people panicking and people trying to make deals that don't end up mattering.
It doesn't matter at all. So we I should go to this next slide because this is where we are. We see that uh, Pastor Jacob and McLean are the snakes of the week, the two-headed snakes. Um, they get to this ceremony, and the two-headed snakes both go to the front because they are safe, and they are going to make the decision, the first decision of who is going to start this chain, and they both save Amanda as planned.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda is safe as planned. So then Amanda now gets to save someone, and as planned, she's supposed to save Jack, and she saves Jack.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't have done it, but that's just me. So then, as planned, Jack is supposed to save Devante, and he does. Sure.
Yeah. No, this is the expected outcome.
hmm And now Devante is supposed to save Derek, and Devante says, "I'm gonna shake it up a little bit because that's what I do." And Devontae saves Brett. And I'm like, duh.
Yeah. No shit.
No,
Politely,
right.
like, this was always going to happen.
There was no way that was not going to happen. Like,
Ugh.
I was like, duh, yeah, of course he saves Brett. Like, what? Who else would he save? Like, and Pastor Jacob is looking a little shocked. Like, this wasn't the plan. Derek is pissed. He's like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And here's my thing. Amanda says she knew it a mile. She could see this happening a mile away, which I believe because we all saw it happening a mile away. But I'm like, if we saw it happening a mile away, why didn't we say anything? Derek, if you saw this happening, why didn't you say anything? Like, try to persuade Jacob and be like, "Hey, I know you think this is the plan, but I don't think this is going to happen. We need to come up with an alternate plan. We need to come up with our own plan because we know if we save two of them, the third one is going to be saved." Everybody's like, we saw it a mile away. We saw it a mile away. Why didn't we tell Jacob to let's switch the plan and tell Amanda to pick Derek?
I have a
That would have been the
guess.
place. What's your
And
guess?
it's mainly because I'm pretty sure Derek knew that Jacob would save him almost in any situation, and McLean would be at least okay with it. Not
hmm
maybe not directly, but Jacob would have enough potential influence to maybe be like, yeah, no, Derek will probably be fine. So I think Derek maybe kind of was laid back a little bit more of like, I'm getting through this round. The Jack Devante Brett trio, if it survives, is now going to be even more public and more of a problem that people will try to break it up again and not save any of them in a future round. And then suddenly they're at the bottom and one of them is guaranteed to go home. That is giving Derek a lot of grace, but
Right.
I think there's at least a little bit of thought behind it that makes sense.
I don't feel that way. I feel like, I mean, me personally, I'm all about let's make sure we get as many people on our side as possible. And the fact that it was a possibility that we could lose one or maybe two people who could be numbers for us in the future kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, even if we don't pick Derek right away, like even if Amanda didn't pick Derek, pick somebody who you know will. Pick Cody. Cody would have definitely saved Derek. Derek, and then tell Derek, for Cody's sake, save Christine. And that way, you could gain somebody else to be on your side because Derek is now the person that saves Christine. She's like, "Oh, I'm grateful for you saving me. We can all work together." That's adding another number to your side of the of the table, so you can have people to share it with to save. And then you continue to make those connections with like Frank and Alyssa, and you could have these people. This is the shame, and we lock these other people out until and one of them gone. But it it's just I don't know. I don't understand.
there
I don't.
there's a lot behind it. It's just like
Hmm.
it was such an obvious strategic failing that everyone almost clocked that it doesn't
Hmm.
really make sense that it went through. But
Absolutely. So Brett in turns is now safe, and he saves Catherine, which of course he's in the core four with
yeah,
him. Catherine chooses to save Jordan, and Brian's a little shocked because like I thought we had something, but Catherine is like her reasoning for not saving Brian made so much sense to me.
it
She was
makes
like,
so much sense.
I can't continue to save him, and people look at us like we're a duo if you're not even going out to try to make other connections with people. And that is really what you have to do. You have to go out, do the work, make the connections, and then come back in and it makes sense. I just feel like he wasn't trying to make those connections. And so Catherine was like, I just can't be the one to save you. Maybe if you had another connection, they would have saved you.
Yeah. It's basically considering Brian a dead link where yeah, Brian would save Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
but he's never gonna get saved himself, so that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think this chop is smart. And I mean, once again, Catherine is easily playing one of the best games. And we do get to see another lovely foam bit of her pulling out her phone and being like, oh, here's another tactic I can throw out, which, yes, at
Mm-hmm.
least
Mm-hmm.
once an episode. Thank you.
Thank you. Um, so Jordan now then saves Alyssa. Alyssa, of course, saves Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last person that was saved by the people. Now it went to the hands of the snakes. And I was like, the four people who was left was Christine, Derek, Brian, and Cody. And I didn't know who McLean was going to save out of this.
I genuinely thought that it was like, oh, this is a foregone conclusion.
Hmm.
Like, we're just gonna see Christine and Cody because Christine hasn't had enough time to connect with people, and Cody's been with Christine the whole time. They're just gonna cut off that duo, and we'll just move
Right.
on to a new round. Which boring, but fair.
Right. But that didn't happen because McLean, which I think is another smart move here, was like, I feel like I want to save someone who needs to, we need more girls in the world and we need more girls in this game. And I was like,
Oh,
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 okay.
okay.
And I'm
Work.
like, so she saves Christine, which I think is really smart because now Christine is thankful and grateful for her. And it's like, can be another number for McLean if she wins. And
I unfortunately though at the moment see Christine in the same situation as Brian was in, where
she
who
hasn't made
is
more connection.
saving Christine? Because she's been with Cody the whole time.
I think, well, yeah, maybe
Eh,
now.
I
Yeah.
feel like she might have saved her potentially for padding reasons. Well, I can now make sure I'm always probably going to place above Christine. But if Christine is ever saved, she saves me. Perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, look, hey, game is game, and how you play it is
Hmm.
how you play it. But then we see Jacob, he gets to save someone, and he obviously saves Derek because
Hmm.
Derek is the person who he's the closest with, which left uh Brian and Cody to be eliminated. And
Which Brian being a hit is crazy.
it's wild.
I
Why
genuinely expected him to go so far, and to see him go out here, I'm just like, what the hell just happened?
I was so confused. I thought I didn't realize Brian didn't have as many connections until, Catherine said it. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, the only people who would have saved him was Catherine. Like, not even Jordan saved him. And I was like, wow, why is that? But if you're going to play a game like this, you have to use the social aspect of it just as much as the strategy aspect. And you got to get people to want to play with you and put you in those groups where you are valuable to the team.
Hmm.
And man, I don't know. I get being introverted and wanting to be by yourself and chilling out throughout the day, but those are valuable social times where you get to know each other. That downtime, that time where y'all just sitting around the house, talk, make connections, tell people your life story. Y'all enjoy each other, listen to their stories, make those connections, then build a team, build that army up around you. Like, hey, y'all, I think we can work well together. If we keep each other close, we can defeat the snake. You know what I mean? We can all keep our group together. You just have to use that time. It's so valuable. And this was one of those times where Brian just didn't. I was shocked. Cody is another one, I think. Mm. I think Cody was just a casualty of
I
the bros just sticking together and Pastor
Yeah.
Jacob not really thinking about the long term of it all.
He was in the group. He was very much at the bottom the entire time. I mean, he was the third to last person. He was the last person saved by the chain in round one, and only
Mm-hmm.
really survived in round two because Frank was there to give him a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the one pact he made immediately fell apart.
Yep.
So it doesn't ultimately surprise me that Cody goes out here. I feel like Cody was my expected boot here. I expected Christine over Brian, but I can see why it happened as is.
Absolutely. But that was that. We do have a preview for next week, and it looks like our dear sweet Catherine is getting called out by Pastor Jacob. I'm like, oh, what is happening here?
Interesting seeing how the main thing of Devonte versus Derek is not really being mentioned.
Right. Hopefully, we'll get more into that next week because I really want to see how all the different dynamics play. Because I know Derek can't just go quietly into the night and let that pass with Davante. I know he didn't. But
My guess as to what happens, because we see one other thing of someone else getting out of a crate,
yep.
meaning probably one of the four players who have already been eliminated. I am going to call that this double elimination wasn't really a double, and Brian and Cody fought to return to the game. Brian comes back and causes a major problem for Catherine. That is
Oh.
my full guess because it's the thing that makes the most
Ooh.
sense. Why else is Catherine in so much hot water? Because it doesn't make sense for her to be, unless
Right.
immediately something happens that throws her game into turmoil.
Ooh. Maybe they've been doing that with all the eliminated contestants, giving them a chance to fight back
Mm.
and like a battle back. And then Brian is the one that wins. Like you said, Brian wins the battle back and comes back. Ooh. That would be so much fun and interesting, and I would love that. Look, I'm hoping for your outcome. Because I don't, even if it's somebody new, not that I don't want anybody new, I just feel like they will get the same treatment as Christine anyway. So I'm kind of like, but if you
Yeah.
bring somebody back who's been there and they know them, that'll be a lot more interesting. I can't wait to see what happens next. Period. But we will be back here next week to talk all about what happens next week. We thank you for joining. We appreciate you spending the time with us. If you appreciate our content, and I know you do, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. If you do it, let us know in the comments that you are a new subscriber. We will thank you and shout you out here on this program. Um, we thank you so much for everything. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, and our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and where you can get your mug at lologiescreations.etsy.com. And on that note, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna leave. You all stick around and watch another video in the playlist right down below. So thanks and so much, and cheers.
Cheers.